We will begin with the death traps on Adelaide's roads. It's mainly young drivers who buy these older model used cars. They're breaking down and, more alarmingly, some are so unsafe, lives are at risk. Now, we tested one second-hand car and found it wasn't even fit for the scrap heap. Yazdedovic has more.
Unsafe cars are slipping through the net.
I can't believe the government isn't requiring regular checks and is allowing dangerous cars to be sold.
You must be concerned about being involved in a crash when you're in it.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable knowing that so many things could go wrong and putting myself or others at risk.
They're unroadworthy death traps you don't want to drive. Dangerous cars sold and registered without safety inspections.
The car which is 5 years and over should have an annual inspection.
When it comes to used cars, it's usually young drivers who can only afford older models, unaware they're a ticking time bomb.
The cars will either be taken off the road or people would repair them.
Unlike other states, our dealers and private sellers aren't required to put used cars through rigorous independent tests.
I was really quite upset that not only had the dealership sold it to me like that, that now I had to put more hard work into trying to get it up to road standard.
19-year-old Kaylin Pierce is about to get P-plates and recently purchased her first car, a Holden Astra, which cost her $1,500 at RPM car sales in Nailsworth.
I tried so hard to save for it, and then once I finally had got it, I bragged about it to everyone. I'm like, oh, I got my first car.
Kaylin managed to find a vehicle on her modest budget, but just because it looks polished doesn't mean her life wouldn't be at risk in a serious crash.
The axles and the shockers and suspension, like that wouldn't have crossed my mind to ever even looking for a car. And I know other people, like especially girls my age, that aren't car enthusiasts.
There's nothing in SA's motor vehicle regulations preventing Kaylin's car being sold in its current condition. But how will it withstand the ultimate test? First, mechanic Lynn James will subject it to close scrutiny to reveal what she got for her money.
If this was my daughter, I'd be absolutely furious. Furious.
Lynn is a former safety examiner from the UK, where vehicles undergo annual inspections before they can be re-registered.
South Australians have no idea how bad the car can be.
But even he wasn't prepared for shocking problems he found under this hood.
The strut top mount has got way too much play in it. Basically, the top mount is collapsed. You see the hell of a lot of play there, which you shouldn't have. And you can see the top mount on this side as well is absolutely gone. The seat belt clasp is not working properly at all. So I'm putting it in, it's not catching there at all. It's a safety issue. In an accident, it'd be flying straight through the window.
But you would assume the brakes are checked before sale.
See, the disc has worn unevenly. It's taken layers of metal off the disc. This was recently taken off a car, this one. If you look at that, this is what could happen.
There's also glaringly obvious problems.
Muffler is completely missing. Fumes from there, because it's not coming out from the back end. Emissions coming back into the car.
Other issues are harder to spot, which is why Lynn says compulsory examinations make a difference.
What we got is basically a radius arm bush, which is cracking. The back end moving could cause potential death.
These problems are alarmingly common. Lynn says he's examined almost 700 vehicles over the past 2 years, which shouldn't be allowed on the road in Adelaide.
There's no system in place. The only thing we can do is write out a report and advise.
So we asked collision expert Grad Zivkovic to put Kaylin's car to the test. His team is going to crash it at 60 kilometres an hour with test dummies inside.
And you must be worried about all the safety flaws?
Yeah, knowing that simple things could cause such a big accident isn't okay, and I'd rather just keep it off the road than put anyone else at that risk.
What do you think of the impact there?
That's so scary.
You must be worried you bought this car now.
Yeah, very much so. If that was me or anyone else, I don't even have words.
Did you expect it to be this bad?
Not really. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that bad.
So how safe was the vehicle, and how did the dummy driver and passenger hold up?
Something as simple as a seatbelt that doesn't function properly, and this is the result. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am. I didn't realise it could end so badly with one little malfunction.
When we approached RPM Car Sales about the concerns raised, the owner requested a list of mechanical problems.
The name's Yaz. Tonight, I was hoping to have a chat with him if he's available.
Yeah, no worries, mate. He's just inside there. You want me to grab him?
Yeah, if you can grab the boss, that'd be great.
However, the owner did not take up our invitation. Police have targeted used car yards in the past to ensure defected vehicles never make it on the road in the first place.
It's those vehicles that are poorly maintained are the ones who often have the defects, and they're the ones the police should be targeting.
But Mark Borlase from RAA says operations which hold drivers accountable are most effective.
So that people have to keep their car safe 365 days of the year, not just the one day they take it into a repairer to have it checked.
We've seen surprise operations spring up at petrol stations recently, which resulted in defect notices and cars being towed.
Then you can have police with trained technicians who can very quickly do a roadworthy check of the vehicle.
But for Kaylin, this eye-opening experience has been a crash course in buying a safe car.
I'm going to make sure they've got a roadworthy check done before I even purchase it. And if they're not willing to do that, then I'm not going to bother with them.